This is Juke and Jamm, Memphis.
This is Rusty Graver, Vice President. And this is John Mathewson, our Secretary of Defense.
All right, how's defense? Are you straddling defense?
It's
Defense.
can't comment.
John, do you want to start passing this around?
He's on Delta Force duty.
Let me put it this way.
Everybody needs to
I've been with the
print the
songwriters
sign.
since day one. Green onions. We have in the studio today. Are we rolling over there, by the way? I guess we are. Hey there. We're pleased to have with us the Memphis Songwriters Association and various members thereof. We're going to pass the mic around, pass the CD player around, might even pass a banged-up guitar or two around, and see what we can do about making a little music, making a little noise. And someone's got the coffee on the way, and when it gets here, we'll start telling lies. So have a little fun. That's what most musicians do anymore, pass their acts around. We might even try to write a song on the spot. You never know what's going to happen with these folks. I mean, they're just all over the place. Phil Beasley, how are you?
Hey, doing well. How are you, Bob?
Grab the mic there.
All right. How's that?
That's
Can you
good.
sit back? Relax.
Okay.
Relax.
That's that way you'll feel like you're part of the gang.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you hear?
Yeah.
Good.
I'm in.
Yeah, you're happening.
Yeah.
So, what's up with the Memphis Songwriters Association?
Oh, man, we're doing a whole bunch these days. You know, we've been around for quite some time, and we're just carrying on. We're carrying on. We just got through doing a workshop with Mr. Jon Dillard. I think y'all have had him on the show. Great singer-songwriter, probably one of the best songwriters around. I'm a big Jon Dillard fan. He did a workshop with us out at Miss Nita's, Moe's. I think everybody knows Nita Black. And so we're just doing everything we can to encourage people to write good songs and trying to help them to develop their craft and to carry on with the business of songwriting.
Cool. So, some of the events that, like monthly, you have an open mic kind of thing?
Well, yeah, we have been doing the open mics. We're about to start those back up. We usually do the open mics like on the third Thursday, one Thursday a month. That's been at Miss Nita's as well. Moe's has really been great to us out there. It's kind of like our home. And then also we have members meetings first Tuesday of every month. But that is open to the public because we want to encourage people to come out and get to know us and hopefully, you know, have a desire to join up with us.
Great, great. Is there a criteria for one becoming a member of the group?
The only criteria you have is that you want to write a song and you want to get into songwriting. And of course, you know, we have an annual membership fee. It's $50 annual fee, and then $35 for seniors and $35 for full-time students. But you know, we don't try to wrestle people at the door for their money. We encourage them to come out and get to know us. And
I just want to write one hit song.
yeah, yeah, me
And for
too.
the business side of things, you have a publishing company or something of that sort, you're a song plugger or whatever, you're welcome to be a part of the crew as well.
That's exactly right. And as a matter of fact, that's kind of really what my role has been as president, is really to try and reach out to, you know, the music industry here locally, to try and talk to those type of people, song pluggers, so on and so forth. We had a membership meeting just about 2 months ago out at the Melting Pot. The owner, Steve Evers, was a long-time song plugger in Nashville. He worked with Waylon Jennings, Oak Ridge Boys, the rest of them just kind of fly off, but extensive experience, and he spoke to our group about the art of song plugging. And so we definitely need to reach out to those types of people in the community, the experienced songwriters that really have kind of been in the game for a long time. We'd like to utilize their experiences and have them come in as special guest speakers and sometimes conducting workshops, whatever it may be, to, you know, pass along to the upcoming, the newer upcoming, those aspiring to be great songwriters.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
You brought some CDs from various members who are unable to be here today.
Yes, I did.
And you've also got a couple of project CDs that the group has done as a whole.
Right.
And we have CDs from some of the members that are waiting in the wings to be with us shortly.
Exactly.
So forth. So we've got a jam-packed couple of hours here with the songwriters.
Now that one right there is the Best of MSA Volume 1. And what that was is it was a members-only songwriting contest. And members, put their... entered their songs, and there was a fee to enter a song, and then a kind of a lesser fee for entering more than one song. And then what happened was the top winners were picked and selected, and they got to go into the studio. And I believe we had, I think, 12 on that. Yeah. And so anyway, got to go into the studio, and for some people, that was a first-time experience. And Brian Hayes of Retriever Records did that for us, and so it was a first project, and we're currently we're wanting to do a second one. We kind of got behind the 8 ball, so I don't know if we're going to meet all our deadlines this year, but certainly that is going to be something that we do up and coming. Is we're going to have the Best of MSA Volume 2, and so be looking for that.
Oh yeah. Well, I know being the first time in the studio for some folks is quite an experience.
Oh man. Yeah.
Never knew there were so many gadgets, did you?
Never knew.
Blinking lights.
Yeah. And never
where's the razor blade?
That is radio, but it feels like everybody's looking at you.
Well, they are. They're right over there.
Oh, okay.
Say hi to the webcam.
Hey, webcam.
Yeah. And jukeandjam.com. And
Juke and Jamm Memphis.
And Juke and Jamm Memphis, and you can hang out with us via the internet. So.
And that is so cool, because I did go to the website and download when you guys had Jimmy Davis in here.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, we got all kinds of stuff on there.
Yeah.
So
next time we have to get bring
some
guitar.
of the folks that are on this project, Dr. Rice Drury and Carol Dufford, Toby Bradford, Donna McGee, Stephen Thomas, Brian Hayes, Jon Dillard, Melinda Milligan, Charlotte Babb, Phil Beasley, and John Strickland. So quite a few folks are gracing the CD with their talents and such.
Absolutely.
And being a, I guess you might say, retired member of the Songwriters Association, I know that there's always workshops and different events going on year-round, and that this is just one of many things that you guys are up to.
That's right.
And the work is always going.
Always.
Always. And the tireless energy of the membership and all the folks that are out there helping out and so forth.
Absolutely. We got a great group of people, and you guys are going to get a chance to see that here today. Some very talented people. I became affiliated with the association probably about 3 years ago, and just fell in love with the history, with the fact that, our organization was founded, over 30 years ago by Miss Estelle Axton, and she needs no introduction. And
well, I don't know. There's some people that still find it interesting to put history with history.
Yeah.
Estelle was one of the co-founders of Stax Records. So.
Exactly, and and if you go down to Stax and you go through that you pay and you walk through Stax down there, and you can learn a little bit more about her, and you can see how she was a lady really ahead of her times. There's a document down there where she convinced her husband back in that day to put out a second mortgage on her home, and that was kind of one of the things that kept things going, kept the lights on, so to speak. And for a woman of that character, especially in that day, and then you hear all the great things like Steve Cropper says about her, and all the other great musicians, Isaac Hayes, and how that she was really an inspiration in inspiring a group and a community of people to write hit songs. And
well, the songwriters came about at a time when Memphis was probably in its heyday, music-wise, and had so many hit songs to our credit, so many wonderful people,
right,
and so much was happening. And it was kind of an effort to support the songwriters, those that were coming up through the ranks and those that were established, and trying to pass on the torch, if you will, and also work in tandem with the University of Memphis in their music department. So a lot of great effort was put about in organizing the Songwriters Association. And also about that time there were several people that were also involved with the Nashville Songwriters Association and felt that the Nashville group should branch out, as it were. And there was a lot of Memphis folks traveling the highway between here and Nashville and doing quite well at that time. So it was kind of a sharing of knowledge,
Yeah.
so to speak.
And that's exactly what we're trying to do today. You know, we just want to see more people involved on all different levels, and that's a part of what we're doing. We find that, you know, just reaching out to the musicians and the other organizations within the community is what keeps it all together and keeps it going.
We're going to play a selection from your Best of the Songwriters, Volume 1. And Dr. Rice Drury, don't talk about that. And we're going to do that as we set everything up to do some live music and live interviews right here at Juke and Jamm.
All right, man. Sounded good, man.
Juke and Jamm, Barbara Blue. That's her most recent CD, one that Nancy Apple composed. Did you spend a lot of time writing that, Nancy?
No,
It took all of 10 minutes, right?
it took about maybe 20, 30 minutes of a campfire and a couple cocktails.
Good every time. Well, entitled Moonlight Over Memphis. And, I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah. That's all it takes.
I'll even write a book about you two who can hang out at the campfire and write songs.
Yeah.
Before that, Talk to Me from Carol Duffer, Toby Bradford, Donna McGee, and Dr. Rice Drury, Don't Talk About That. So, members of the Memphis Songwriters Association who are with us today. And we now shift gears over here to our friends with the Folk Alliance, who I guess you have set up, not to be a pun here, but you set up an alliance with the Folk Alliance.
That's exactly right. And actually, what had happened, how this all came about is I heard about the Folk Alliance, and I was interested in learning more about what they're doing here in Memphis. And so I gave Mr. Lewis Myers a call, and he agreed to have a lunch with me, and we sat down, and he kind of, you know, gave me some pointers and some things that I needed to focus on in regards to, you know, improving membership services and things along those lines. And so, anyway, I was going to become a member myself, and then I found out that they actually offered organizational memberships, which means that our organization, by being an organizational member of the Folk Alliance, our members are offered the same services that the members of the Folk Alliance are offered. I mean, they're actual members. There's a few exceptions, like they don't get the publications mailed directly to their house. That comes to our office, and then that excludes voting rights. We as an organization have 3 votes. But other than that, when you become a member of the Memphis Songwriters Association, you're also entitled to some great member services that come along with us being a part, or being organizational members of the Folk Alliance.
Do you still have the valet car parking at the membership meetings?
Actually, we had to do away with the valet.
We don't kept wrecking the cars.
Yeah.
That I knew there had to be something.
They kept coming up missing, and
Yeah, and that one guy that got hit by the bus.
Yeah.
that didn't help.
Rough.
Yeah, it was all downhill from there.
But other than that, you have a lot of member services with the songwriters.
Yes, and pretty much our member services consist of the fact that we work to put on workshops and also networking opportunities with other songwriters and musicians. We have some people in our organization that are strictly lyricists, and what that allows them to be able to do is to develop relationships with other members that are artists and musicians, and it's kind of like an outlet for them to be able to, you know, put their songs to music. And so that, along with the networking opportunities and the workshops and the different events that we try to put on and participate in, that's the great benefit of being a member.
Cool, cool. Well, all right, let's shift gears over here to the Folk Alliance. And
Yeah.
You guys have been in Memphis for how long?
We relocated our office to Memphis July 2005 and relocated our annual international convention February 2006.
And you came here from?
The office had been in Silver Springs, Maryland for 18 years, and the convention had been nomadic for 18 years all over North America. So this is the first time we've landlocked into one city, and we've signed a contract to be in Memphis for at least 5 years.
Cool.
Possibly longer, but at least 5.
What prompted you guys to come to Memphis?
Combination of things: cost of doing business compared to the Washington D.C. area, the downtown revitalization here, being able to be part of the South Main Arts District, where the Recording Academy and Weevil and Craig Brewer's office, a lot of the people that kind of had a like mind, and to be in the middle of the country for membership, to kind of be a favored nation situation where we don't get considered an East Coast or a West Coast organization.
Cool. And I know recently you had your convention here in town.
Correct. It's in February every year.
So was that very successful?
It was tremendously successful. We had right around 2,000 registrants. We showcased about 260 artists from around the world in official showcases, and probably another 500 unofficial. It was a great meld of Memphis and the rest of the world. I was really pleased to see all the Memphis artists participating. A lot of the local venues kept our international acts and some of our other U.S. acts around. People were in the studios all hours of the day and night at Arden and at Sun. And a lot of Memphis went out of here to the rest of the world. I think it's set, for us, it's set in motion that this is a great hometown for the conference and the organization because of, obviously, the songwriting history, the music history, the culture, the soul of the environment. There aren't many other parts of the world that I would say speak more to folk tradition in the true sense as what's happened in Memphis over the last 200 years.
Cool. Now, for those people that may not be quite familiar with different genres of music, or those people like to pigeonhole things, can you explain the difference between folk, roots, and Americana?
Folk music is traditional music. It's anything based on a traditional form. That could be Nyabingi drummers from Jamaica. That could be Harbonger fiddles from Sweden. It could be Zydeco, polka, mariachi. Any music that is at its root comes from a traditional style of music. Obviously, over hundreds of years, it changes formats. Our membership is equally divided between traditionalists that really work to keep that true original spirit of the music, and then the revisionists that have taken that music, added something fresh and new to it. And it's exciting right now because there's such a wave of young traditional folk bands that are really causing quite a stir around the world right now. And then obviously the bigger things like Springsteen's tribute to Pete Seeger record will probably have to go down as the biggest folk record of all time by the time everything's said and done in terms of sales and impact. Folk music has been very much, I mean, it's been here. It was pop music in the 60s when it was Judy Collins and Bob Dylan and Peter, Paul and Mary and the Kingston Trio. It was pop music. It was what was on top of the charts. Gradually over time, those artists are still viable. Bob Dylan had a #1 Billboard album at the age of 65 last year. That's a pretty impressive display of longevity as an artist. All these artists are having a resurgence. They're being rediscovered by the young artists. They're being rediscovered by the people that bought their records 10, 30, 50 years ago in some cases. And then every time there's something big, whether it's the Springsteen record, whether it's Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, luckily there's been a lot of major media events to help folk music come back. And I tell you, the biggest thing is our world is not that radically different than what we found in the 60s in terms of war and poverty and civil strife, and there's a lot to write about. And I think folk and rap are really the only two forms of music out there that are trying to have an impact on day-to-day world.
Okay, sounds cool. You brought us a couple of CDs, and I'm looking at one here. It's True Folk, with a variety of artists that are very recognizable from back in the 60s and 70s and so forth. And some of these folks I haven't heard from in quite a while, and some of them have current chart records, so forth. And it's kind of difficult to select any particular one because they're all good. Do you have a preference?
I don't. Again, I'm like you. That's a real nice representation of kind of the history of our organization, and to a certain extent of our music.
Okay.
From Roger McGuinn with the Byrds to Ani DeFranco to Lorena McKennitt, and wow, I mean, there's a
lot of folks on here. Before we play a selection, real quick, get a plug-in from your website.
www.folk.org. Pretty easy.
And all the information that one needs is available on the website.
Yeah, you can go to folk.org and it'll give you information on the organization, on the conference. Our showcase event will accept showcase entries starting June the 1st. And next year we anticipate showcasing approximately 200 artists to the industry.
Fantastic. Do us a little promo here real quick for our website, and we'll play Roger McGuinn.
This is Lewis Myers from the Folk Alliance, and you're listening to the Juke and Jamm show right here in Memphis, Tennessee.
Let me try that.
East Virginia, we're talking with Lewis Myers here. He's with the Folk Alliance, National Folk Alliance.
North American Folk Music and Dance Alliance, but we call it the International Folk Alliance.
Oh, Bob can dance.
I can dance. You should see me running for the bus every night.
I'm looking forward to it.
Running for the restroom. More like it.
Running up with Joe Terry over there. Doing a lot of dancing. So you are also a member of the Tennessee Boat Smokers.
I am. I'm mild-mannered musician when I'm not playing executive director for the Folk Alliance. I play banjo with the Tennessee Bolt Smokers and play pedal steel with assorted acts around town.
Well, now that, if you're a steel player, that...
You say assorted or sorted?
Both. Assorted acts around town. No, I've had, since I've lived here just not even 2 years yet, I've already had the fun of being on stage with Jim Dickinson and Keith Sykes and a lot of my longtime local Memphis heroes. So
I hear you.
that means as much to me as any of the other stuff does.
Can you play blues on your steel guitar?
I can.
Come on down to the blues jam.
I'd love to.
Yeah. We'll
I actually play steel in a reggae band in Austin that has a couple of records out. Wow. Called the Mau Mau Chaplains, M-A-U-M-A-U. Shallow. It's hard to say. Austin doesn't have that rich history. Austin's musical history is pretty short in terms of years, and by comparison to Memphis, hasn't even scratched the surface. For us, it's Willie and Stevie Ray, And our biggest record to ever come out of Austin was Christopher Cross. It's not a hit record marketplace, never was.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to be here where there's
How about The Future's So Bright I Gotta Wear Shades?
Timbuk3, one hit, never had a second hit, love them to death. Made great records, but never got that second hit. Fastball never got the second hit.
Sailing was cut in Austin?
Sailing was cut in Austin,
and I
yes.
thought it was done in L.A.
If you look on the record, about half the tracks were cut at the old Odyssey studio in Austin, and then they were finished by Michael O'Meriton in L.A. But there's one song, I can't remember, there's one song that's left from the original sessions, the one with the Eric Johnson guitar solo on it, is still like all the original Austin tracks. They'd made that whole record once in Austin, and then basically redid the bulk of the record in L.A.
Amazing.
Yeah, somewhere I've still got the original, the Austin version of that record, song for song.
Well, cool. Tell us about the Bolt Smokers. What are you guys up to?
Tennessee Bolt Smokers. We're kicking in, getting ready to start working on a new record. We've been playing a lot. We've been trying to play other lands about once a month. We played the Newbies Highland Walker Festival last week and played out at Earth Day at the park last week. Unfortunately, I missed that one. It's a large band, so every once in a while one of us misses a gig just so we can keep working. But we try to play 2 or 3 times a month in town, and everybody's kind of got so many side projects. Eric Lewis is in the band, Tommy Burrows, and David Pierce, and of course that Mark guy up front. But you know, everybody stays pretty busy. It's a great bunch of guys as far as just sheer talent of players. Every show's is an adventure.
An adventure meaning did he?
An adventure meaning
You did hear he said Tommy Burrows was in.
Yeah. Yeah, and Tommy may be the most inside of everybody in the band. No, it's great. Everybody's got such a great musical imagination on stage to take what's almost pretty standard bluegrass material and make it interesting for several hours in a row is hard to do. And it's fun to be on stage with people that can pull something different out of it, where you'll hear a swing solo or a blues solo somewhere where you wouldn't expect to hear it. Except for these idiots. I hate this record.
Great. I'm gonna tell you something. Talking about the Folk Alliance and that conference that went on down there, I mean, it was like sensory overload. I had never attended anything like that in my life, and I encourage anybody out there that's a musician, has anything to do with the music industry, writing, whatever the case may be, or just enjoys music. I mean, if you don't slate some vacation time and participate in that thing coming up in 2008, you are doing yourself a great injustice.
Let me figure this out. I've got to have at least 3 weeks, 4 weeks vacation a year. I got the Folk Alliance.
Memphis in May.
I've got Memphis in May.
Right.
I've got Dead Elvis Week.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure around the holidays there'll be a lot of parties and festive events and one thing or another going on. This is just too much. I mean,
well, you know, you can X out some of those Christmas time in-law kind of things and just move that time maybe towards the Folk Alliance, which, by the way, is in February. So, you know, most people get their vacation time right there at the beginning of the year. So you can just,
and we got the IBC and all this other good stuff. And,
well, yeah.
Oh, man. And then I got to take some time to go down south to southwest. And,
look, why don't we just all quit and just
our regular jobs.
Quit our regular jobs and just go to all these great events.
Yeah, I'm sure we can do something on cable TV.
Sure.
Like
Joe's got it going on.
Right now. Have you ever been to fanfare, or the equivalency of what used to be fanfare?
No.
You know.
I have been. Yes.
Yeah.
In Nashville.
Well, then you'll know what I'm about to say. You can stand in one place for 5 minutes and never see the same person twice. You can stand there for 10 minutes and you sure ain't going to see the same person.
What's nice about the Folk Alliance event, it's all under one roof. At the showcases are all at the Marriott, all on one floor, and then upstairs for the private showcases. So it's easy to actually see everybody being in one place. You don't have to travel all over town.
And what I was in reference to is not only the participants, the fans, the audience, but the musicians and the people putting the program on. Fanfare is such a dichotomy of people and events and things that it's beyond description, and it's not all country.
It's still the only music industry event that puts the fans and the artists face to face.
Awesome.
No one has ever created anything similar to that with any other style of music that I'm aware of.
Mm-hmm. And I would just like to, because I really want to, it's like they got all these great events going on during the day. Like they had the demo derby and one where you have a mentor class. So I was able to go in there and sit down with 15 minutes, like with Jimmy Davis, who I've been a fan forever, Keith Sykes, who I've been a fan forever, and you know, throw a couple of my songs out, and you know, I went away encouraged. I didn't throw my songs away. I just kind of put them away and said, okay, I'll go back and rework that one. But, you know, where else are you going to get to do something like that? And then all the various vendors that were at the exhibition hall, Taylor, guitars, you know, you just can't name them all. And then in terms of songwriting, there were a lot of songwriting workshops there. Mr. Paul, I always say his name wrong, Reisler. I mean, you know, those guys, it was one workshop, Paul Reisler and Steve Siskin. And, you know, that was great. And here we were, there was about 5 of us from the MSA that were just running around crazy. I think Jon Dillard 3 nights in a row stayed till 2 a.m. in the morning, and where else are you going to get to go to
He left early.
a private workshop and see the Tennessee bolt smokers, and basically you're sitting in the floor in a room. It's just such an intimate setting and such a way for up and coming people to be able to get up close to artists. I mean, it's just unbelievable. And Mad Jack Records had a great showcase, as many others. You just can't name them all, but it's incredible.
Yeah.
Can't talk enough about it.
Cool. Well, definitely want to thank Lewis Myers for taking time to be with us and informing us about the international folk and dance and music and culture and
It's a little bit of
everything else
everything.
that you guys do.
It's about tradition and passing it on to the next generation. And thanks for having me.
Oh, come back.
Look forward to being back.
We definitely want you to come back. And cut us a little promo here before you
Sure.
slide out of the way, and we'll have some more folks from the Songwriters.
This is Phillip Beasley with the Memphis Songwriters Association, and you're listening to the Juke and Jamm Show in Memphis, Tennessee.
Cool. All right. Also, that show is heard on WQOX FM 88.5 Memphis, the voice of the Memphis City Schools. And, as you pointed out a minute ago, the views and the opinions of the host, the guests, the listener callers, some of the lyrics of the music,
Bob.
or ours, and have nothing to do with the underwriters, Memphis City Schools, Board of Education, staff and management, or anyone else up here that has a say-so in what transpires. So now we've covered our
We won't go there.
keister on that one. We're going to shift gears here and bring in some of the other members of the Songwriters Association, and while we're doing that, we'll play a couple of cuts here from the best of the Memphis Songwriters Association, and we'll be back right after we shift gears. Enjoy it.
Go, Jon Dillard!
We sound great on the radio, Phillip.
Now, Nancy Apple, how are you, my dear?
I'm doing good.
Well, that's cool.
In a little bit. We'll be right there.
You're getting around anymore these days. You're writing songs all over the place, still doing the song slinger thing.
I am. It gets messy. There's just stuff all over the place.
And you're still on the radio at Weevil?
I am. God, I don't know how many years it's been. I've lost track, and I think they have too.
You guys have raised a phenomenal amount of money.
They've raised mega bucks, like over $60,000 for their pledge drive recently.
And
So that's good.
That's great. That'll keep you going.
Keep
to-
them in groceries and the lights on for a while. Yep.
Yeah, keep you going to the Blues on the Bluff thing.
There you go.
Yeah, we can still make reference to you guys being the other guys.
Yeah, you guys are good about that.
And I promise you, we're all in the boat together.
I know,
We're here
I know.
to support Memphis
We
music.
all put our pants on the same way.
Yeah, we're here to support Memphis music. And speaking of such, what's your latest event coming up?
Well, I guess it would be tomorrow. There's a big event going on at Neil's, which is a CD release celebration for a record that was produced to raise money for Target House, which is a place that's close to my heart. I go there as often as they'll let me and play for the kids. It's a place where families and children who are dealing with sickness, primarily cancer, can all live together under one roof, and there's recreational things for them to do. And on Wednesday evenings, Vexar Entertainment's been bringing area musicians in there to play for the kids, and I've done it I don't know, a handful of times, and it's always been hard, but leave there with more than I came with, and so that's a cool thing.
Cool. And the CD for Target House is available at area record shops?
I believe it is. To be honest with you, I don't know a whole lot about it, except that the CD release party is tomorrow.
What time?
It starts at 2 p.m. with music. I think doors open at 1.
The Doors are going to be there?
Yeah.
The Doors are there.
It's a really big shoe.
Yeah,
really big shoe.
they're gonna dig up Jim and set him up in the corner.
Union of the Doors.
Yeah, I play it too. I know that Central Standard Time.
Yeah, that's it. Central Standards.
Yeah, the Central Standards. Yeah. I'm sorry I messed up their name, because they're being nice to let me borrow some of their gear, but they're playing at 2:30, and it's just a whole day and night. I think it's going to go on till, gosh, at least 3 or 4 in the morning. I'm sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Bring your pillow.
Yeah. So just and the admission price, you get a CD. And the money goes to a good cause.
Wonderful.
So, yeah.
Wonderful. Cool. And you still.
And what else am I doing? I do a picking party every Thursday night at Kudzu's.
Yay!
Yeah, and once a month there, I do a thing called the Song Slinger Showdown.
Yay!
I try to have host a touring artist. And then myself.
You've had them up here a couple times.
Yep, and I should have done that last time, but just sometimes it's hard for the out-of-towner to get in town, more than an hour before the show. But try to have a touring artist mixed with a local artist that I'm fond of, and then myself. Cool. And we just kind of sit in a circle and try to make it intimate for people that come and listen, to where they feel like they're in our living room listening to our personal carry-ins on and jokes. And
next time you'll have to bring the dog with you and the telephone.
Yeah. We got candles and incense burning, and folks, when I first started doing it, they said, "What are you doing, Nancy? You gonna have some kind of seance or something up in here?" No.
We could.
Yeah, we could. What else? I've got a festival going on out in Germantown, one of those lunchtime series coming up this month, and Taylor, Mississippi. I think it's the 10th or 11th, I forget, but it's a
grocery store.
It's a Friday night down in Taylor, Mississippi at the Old Taylor Grocery, and the next gig is a big Delta Joe Sanders' birthday celebration gig, so I'm hoping we can get a road trip of folks going down to heckle Joe really good for his birthday.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah. And, they have some pretty good catfish down there, too. And just kind of getting geared up.
Getting ready for the summer.
Yeah, there's a girl rock, School of Rock camp that's coming here, and I'm going to participate with that in the songwriting seminar. And Woody Guthrie Folk Festival coming up this summer. Oshkosh, Bagash, Wisconsin. Oh, geez. Just my summer thing. Hopefully out west again this fall. I do have a Seattle trip. I feel like so calendar challenge. If I don't have my laptop in front of me, I really can't tell you where I am tomorrow. But I do know that tomorrow I'm at Neil's and doing the Target House thing, because I've been looking forward to that. But I know as far as September, I'll be out in Seattle again, and I'm just now trying to confirm those dates so I can confirm I want to make it a really cool road trip and drive this time instead of fly out to Seattle. There's a place in Washington State that has the world's largest lava lamp, and I'd like to pass through that town. And
you got to give me a picture.
What exactly does the world's largest lava lamp look like? And just how large is it?
That's a lot of lava.
Because it is a whole lot of lava going on there. And they've got, spas and coffee shops, and I figure I'd get me a weasel up a gig somewhere there, because I want to see that world's largest lava lamp. One of the best things about being on the road is checking out all the cool things in America, right here on our home ground that we can see, such as the world's largest lava lamp. Also, this year in Wisconsin, I'm looking forward to seeing the world's largest concrete walleye statue, and I'm going to be sure I don't miss that this year.
You got to pass through Milwaukee.
Yes.
And notice how the enclosed walkways between the buildings
Yeah.
are there.
Yeah. Well, we've got one of those here in Memphis. Or 2 of them.
Yeah, but it doesn't get 12 below zero and stay there either.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, Milwaukee, I actually try to avoid Milwaukee because I don't like the traffic there. But I do occasionally go there. I like Madison, Wisconsin. Is a little cooler and more Memphis-like for me. But one thing that I was really surprised about Milwaukee is just how beautiful the Great Lake is from a distance, but you get up close there on the beach, and man, they really need a City Beautiful committee there. You know, it's, if you can call it a beach. It's kind of sandy. It's a large mass of water.
Well, it ain't Chicago.
Yeah, it's just, I was really surprised when I saw that. I was just hoping for something a little bit more pristine.
Would it be the Fourth Coast?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the Fourth Coast. Fourth Coast Music Network.
Yeah, there you go. Well, here's Nancy with a Fourth Coast sound right here at Juke and Jamm.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Nick?
That was good, Bob.
Appreciate that.
You are good at that.
We have in the house with us today the Memphis Songwriters Association.
Uh-huh.
All 3 of them.
Yeah.
Phil Beasley under both of his assumed names and his real name. His ASCAP name, his BMI name, and his CSAC name.
Under duress.
I understand that the 4th name is so that IRS, when they get around to doing the royalty thing,
That's
you
right.
can show them all 3 sets of books.
That's right.
Are you a true musician or what?
Yes.
All right.
What were you going to say?
Hey, Nancy was just on, and I just wanted everybody to know
She
Nancy.
Was? She was?
Yeah, earlier, Nancy
I
Apple.
thought we recorded that segment.
No, she was live in the studio.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted everybody out there to know how instrumental she's been in helping us as an organization. Nancy has actually conducted a workshop with us in the past, a summer series workshop where she gave us about 10 Saturdays in a row, and we got together over there once again at Miss Nita's at Moe's. And so anyway, you know, she's helped us a lot, and she also teaches a songwriting class out there at the University of Memphis. So, you know, she's just so instrumental in promoting songwriters and musicians, and I couldn't get out without taking a chance to tip a hat to the Cadillac Cowgirl.
Oh,
Miss
and
Nancy
for those
Apple.
of you who, you know, your radios are visually impaired, Nancy's got her black and yellow cowboy boots on. Woohoo!
Hey.
Pretty sharp.
What you talking about?
Hang on a minute. Let me see them boots again.
Yeah, get a shot out there. Here we go.
And Joe will have the video posted probably by Monday.
There we go.
Well, I like them.
What's that?
Me too.
You like
Jon
them?
Dillard,
Yes, sir.
how are you?
I'm good. Really good.
Good.
Glad to be here.
Who's your sidekick?
Oh, you know, if you're going to have a harmonica player, he's got to be from Mississippi to make it, you know, get that true grit. This is Rex Ragland.
Hello.
Hey,
Hey.
Yeah.
Thanks for
how
having
are
me.
you? Speak up, Rex. It's only
I said thanks for having me on your show.
I'm glad you clarified.
Oh, Rex is a goodie. He's joined me on the CD that I've been cutting over at Haystock Studios with Brian Hayes.
Yeah.
And we got Rex on a couple tracks there. So anytime I play out live, you know, you got to kind of juice up your set a little bit. And he's the special sauce that makes it happen. So,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Just don't ask me to tell any jokes, please.
Yeah.
Okay, take my harmonica, please.
Right. Just keep this in my mouth and I'm good.
You
Oh,
can't,
okay.
people.
So, what are you going to do for us today?
Let's see. First tune I like to do, it's called Enchantment. Should I talk about it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
All right. So I was in college, right? And there was this girl I was dating, and
Wait a minute, can we say this without you getting in trouble?
yeah, my wife is here, Sarah Jane. Absolutely, she's heard this.
I must admit, though, strictly off the record,
Yes.
Off the record?
I can go to Kroger and I can go to Walmart shopping on the usual shopping days, and I'll look up, and there in the bread aisle is Jon Dillard and his wife.
That's right. That's right. Doing our regular life kind of thing.
And I'm thinking, geez, you guys are acting like the rest of us.
That's right.
Cool.
Someday. Someday I'll hire someone to do all that for me, right? So anyway, so I was in college and I was dating this girl from New Mexico, and she was telling us, I was going to school out in Abilene, Texas, and she was telling us how beautiful New Mexico was compared to Texas. And so there was a group of about
What?
I know
Yeah,
this
really.
song.
Look out now.
So there's a group of about 5 of us. We went out there for a visit with her folks, and early in the morning I got up by myself and went out in the yard, and it was like, it was a gravel yard, and there were chickens out in the yard, you know, pecking at the little gravel, and just the whole thing. But you know, it takes a little getting used to.
Which part of New Mexico?
Artesia, New Mexico. You know where that is? Not too far from Cloudcroft.
How close to Tucumcari or Truth or Consequences or any of those other...
Carlsbad.
It's not far from Carlsbad.
Okay.
Maybe an hour's drive from
White,
Carlsbad.
with a white city or
North of
whatever.
Carlsbad. Yeah, anyway, so, that was a trip. And then my son gets this Ansel Adams print, and it's a really cool print. It's black and white, obviously, and it was from New Mexico, and it shows this little Pueblo-type town, and the sun's coming up, but the moon is still in the sky, and there's a graveyard, and you can see these white crosses in the graveyard. So between that trip with that girl and that print that my son had, I just kind of came up with a song. It's called Enchantment. Yeah. Out of New Mexico, daughter of the sun and the moon and the bright lightning. Well, I don't remember too much, except that I'd like to live. Oh, this is Juke and Jamm, Memphis, Tennessee, WQOX 88.5.
Who are you?
Oh, I would be Jon Dillard with Rex Ragland. Yes.
Cool. I like that song.
Yeah, man, good.
It was very enchanting.
Yes.
That's why it's called Enchanted.
So, what else has Jon Dillard been up to?
Well, this may sound like old news, but it's got some new news in the future. We just had this big event at Shelby Farms, the Earth Day Festival, and there's some really cool things going on with Shelby Farms right now.
What people don't realize, you and I go to the same hairdresser. So Sheila says hello.
Oh, that's right.
You got Walmart, you got Walgreens.
I was going to say, my wife cuts my hair. I was thinking, my wife does your hair?
Bob actually lives in a parallel universe to you. Right?
Oh, I got you.
Bizarro.
No, yeah, Sheila, she, what was her function? She was like the chairperson putting on the Earth Day and the Green Shoe Gala, which was really cool. We had a stage all day long Sunday of acts. They were all local here in Memphis, which was cool. But kind of one of the things that's going on there is the Park Alliance, and it was neat to see Lewis this morning. The Park Alliance they went out to Central Park in New York, and they're trying to work on something that works the same way. I don't know if you're aware, but
we got to hire muggers.
Well, I don't know. They just announced this morning that they're doing away with all the horses in Central Park.
They are.
Well, what's going on here in Memphis is Shelby County, your taxes only pay about $700,000 a year. That's what they give to the park. That's about 78 cents a person a year in Shelby County. So what they're doing is they're looking at the opportunity of partnering with a nonprofit organization that can raise money for the park, for all the different amenities and things out there, the same way that they do it at Central Park. And so it looks like they're really going to start gearing up things out there. And the reason I even bring that up on your show is in the master plan, they have an
You're going to erect a statue to Joe Terry?
Hey!
Yeah, a spam statue.
Thank you so much.
So they're actually they're going to have amphitheaters in the master plan out there. And now that the population of Shelby County is moving east, the park is becoming more central. And certainly we see that in those park attenders that come out there. So I don't know, it's going to be a real good opportunity for musicians, different artists in the future to perform out at the park.
Then bison rides.
Yes. This guy's a nut, man.
Who? Bison?
Yeah, bison rides.
So, do I get to play another one?
Yeah.
Okay, so for those of you that are guitar players, that last song was in double drop D, which means what, Joe?
He's the guitar player.
Is it me?
Was it me?
Yeah, both
Drop
the E.
D.
Yeah.
It's a pop quiz.
Thank you so much.
It means that both of the E's were dropped down to D. Very simple. Now I'm playing an open G, which I don't know what that means.
Means I gotta change harmonicas.
Means you're working your partner over.
To a C?
But then I'm going to put a cable on here, and I'm going to change it to B flat.
Change again.
Yeah. I've been working
go up a fret,
on a CD project for, it seems like forever, but not really forever, with Brian. We got about 80% done, and we hope to release it, I believe, in June, maybe July. Depends. I don't know if you're aware, but Brian has joined the Army Reserves, and he's going to boot camp next month.
That's the haircut.
Yeah, that's the haircut.
I was wondering. I didn't hardly recognize him.
The other day he had a little faux hawk going on. It's kind of cool. But we've been working on this CD, and this is the title track. Actually,
does that mean he's not a school teacher anymore?
No, he's a school teacher right now until such time that they call him up. Yeah, he's still a school teacher. Yeah. Anyway, what are we talking about? Oh yeah, the CD. This is a title track. It's called "Get Right or Get Left," and I'll just say a little bit about the song. Originally, I don't know if you remember Tim Brogdon. Used to be an MSA guy. This is an MSA kind of event sort of today. And we were helping someone move some furniture, and he was telling me a story about when he was living out in L.A. He was a musician out there, and he lived in this high-rise, and in that high-rise there was a girl that paid rent to live in a closet on the 4th floor of this high-rise. And of all things, her name was Hope. I was like, as a songwriter, you hear something like that, it's like, bingo. There's a song right there. I don't know what it is, but there's a song. A girl named Hope, and she's paying rent to live in this closet. So I think I wrote 2 of the verses for the song, and I still didn't have the hook, for the song. And my wife and my son Levi had been, anytime that they would see one of these signs out in front of a church that has some kind of interesting saying, they would call up each other and share that saying.
There's actually a guy that wrote a book and compiled all those sayings. It took him 2 years to write a book. There is honestly a book.
There's some pretty creative, that's a good word for it, pretty creative things out there.
Oh, he's running low on the tape over here, so we got
That's okay, it's a radio show.
Yeah, it's radio.
We got the radio going.
How long will it take you to switch out?
A second.
Anyway, so one day we were on vacation.
Go ahead. You can go ahead. We'll finish that.
We were on vacation, and we came across this sign that said, it was a church sign, it said, "Get right or get left." I was like, oh, that fits the song. So I went home and wrote that into the song, and the song's called "Get Right or Get Left." Do I stop?
Go ahead, man. You got 3 minutes.
Street lights and a mattress the CD, we originally started off, we were going to do a full, just an acoustic CD, because that's what I'm doing, a singer-songwriter thing. But when we got in the studio and started working on that, that was one that turned into a full band, Leslie organ. We haven't put the background vocals, but we're going to have the, the whole gospel kind of a sound to it, back and forth. It's really sounding pretty sharp, what we've got so far. I'm excited about it. Brian is kind of co-producing, particularly the ones that are more full band. I mean, he's really got a lot of input in, but it's really coming along. I'm very excited about it. Got some good players. That first song that we did, we had the Bolts. You played Bolt Smokers earlier. I had Eric Lewis in the studio, and he put down
phenomenal guitar player.
Yes, he put down some dobro on that first one, on that song Enchantment. So that was pretty cool, and he's on a couple others too. So
cool. If somebody wants to get in touch with you, email or website or anything.
Yeah, that would be JonDillard.com without an H. JonDillard.com, and it's got links to MSA and All My Good Buddies, and Juke and Jamm. Hey, Juke and Jamm, you guys get your what is that called? Cafe Express.
Yeah.
You get the Cafe Express out there. We got I heard earlier Nancy was talking about her different shows. There's a show I do once a month. It's called the Alley Cat Soiree, and I stole your guys' idea. I went out there and got me a Cafe Express thing going on there.
We're all about stealing ideas.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
Memphis Songwriters Association, right?
Right. As a former songwriter, I used to steal ideas all the time.
Oh, there you go.
And you still
Is there any truth to the fact that if you ever go to where someone is playing out like an open mic or something, and you've got a table full of songwriters, one guy gets an idea and he jumps up and leaves the table,
It's fair game?
It's fair game that he can call exclusivity